This man and this woman were kissing passionately. So far, no problem, but the point is that she is a committed woman and he, therefore, is her lover. The cruelest part of the story is that her boyfriend is a blind man who needs to trust his girlfriend 100%. In the kitchen, the two greet each other and the woman lies that she has just come in from the street, but he, with unusual hearing because of his visual impairment, notices his girlfriend's gasping voice. At that moment he asks his beloved companion to call his brother. And clearly uncomfortable, she agrees to call her brother-in-law, who, get this, is her lover. The cynical, cheating brother pretends to be arriving at the house at this moment and greets them both as if he has not been kissing her for a few minutes. But the two kiss again, not caring to disrespect that disabled man. He, naive, is happy to receive a visit from his dear older brother. He says that it is quite a coincidence that he shows up just when he was talking to his girlfriend about it. Then he reveals that he would like to invite his brother for dinner. They flirt and even kiss again in front of the blind boyfriend, apparently not thinking about his acute hearing. After this, the girlfriend goes to the kitchen to start preparing the food. Meanwhile, the two brothers go to the dinner table to catch up. Is it or isn't it cruel to betray a man who is unable to see what is happening in front of him? Leave your opinion in the comments and watch it to the end. The gentleman greets his brother once again, expressing his happiness with his visit, not imagining that he was flirting with his girlfriend in the meantime. He even calls his brother loyal and a friend, and the cynical man accepts the compliments without showing guilt. Interested to know how his brother's life is going, he asks if he is finally with someone. And the disloyal man replies that he is with an amazing person, looking directly at his sister-in-law. The two lovers, perhaps out of overconfidence or because they doubt the intelligence of the handicapped man, sometimes cross the line and flirt clearly. At this moment, with everyone gathered around the table, he makes a nice speech in thanks to his brother, saying that he is a person he trusts deeply. He, poor guy, says he loves them both. He reveals that he has a very successful business in the USA and says that he is thinking about having them both on his team. Then he asks them what they thought of this surprise. The lovers are very happy about the opportunity and thank him, even though they know they don't deserve it. The two lovers can't control themselves and start kissing passionately again, not respecting the man who has just given them the best gift of their lives. When he asks for a kiss from his girlfriend, she doesn't seem to understand, but has no choice and gives him a kiss, which makes the cheating brother clearly upset. Trying to change the subject, the cynical man proposes a toast to celebrate this new phase in their lives. Then again the two lovers kiss and flirt shamelessly. With his poor brother in the chair next to him, he praises his sister-in-law in an inappropriate tone, to say the least. On another day, the two kiss on the sofa in the man's house. Not yet sorry for the terrible mistake, he regrets competing for her attention with his brother, but she asks for a little more patience, revealing that she is waiting for her betrayed boyfriend to ask her to marry him, so that she can have all his fortune. This is her evil plan. Although he agrees to this, the man becomes jealous when he sees her with his blind brother. The woman again asks for a little more patience. In an ironic tone, he tells that he has a plan for his brother to decide to marry her as soon as possible, eager to finally begin the life they have so dreamed of. While they are kissing with great intensity, someone knocks on the door and she asks if her lover is waiting for someone. He goes to the gate and who has just arrived is his poor brother. The blind man asks if he is busy, saying that he really needs advice on an important matter. But even though his brother's girlfriend is in the house, he needs to disguise. He escorts his blind brother to the living room couch, where he sits down and thanks his older brother for welcoming him. Unaware that his girlfriend is standing right there, the disabled man reveals that he has decided to ask her to marry him. The two are very excited by the news and kiss again, eager to steal the great wealth from the prospective groom-to-be. A little unsure, he asks his brother if he thinks his girlfriend will agree to marry a blind man. The cynical man replies with absolute certainty, but when the two uncontrolled lovers start kissing once more, the blind man, notices his girlfriend's perfume and asks if she is around. Nervous, the brother stutters a little and answers that it is obvious that she is not in his house, and the shameless brother justifies it by saying that he stays with many women and it is common for them to use the same perfume. He seems to believe him and excitedly decides to tell about his wedding plans. It is shocking to see the shamelessness of these two depraved. The poor blind man is talking about his dream, which includes the presence of his brother as best man, but even at this moment they cannot hold their fire. Later, he goes to the ophthalmologist who has been following the problem in his eyes since childhood. The doctor tells him fantastic news, that with a new surgery developed in the best hospital in the country, it will be possible for him to start seeing. The doctor is also very happy, because he has accompanied him since he was a child, but he says that he will have to stay in the hospital for a week, since this is an experimental surgery that requires previous care. Anxious to be able to see soon, the man with $1 million inheritance agrees to stay in the hospital from that day on, once again thanking the doctor, who asks if it is necessary to tell any family member about this, but the naive man replies that he will take care of this on his own. To the virtual assistant he asks to call his brother, whom he trusts a lot. When the cell phone rings, the cheating man looks, and when he realizes it is his brother, he decides not to answer it, calling him blind fool. After trying to warn his brother about the surgery, he calls his beloved girlfriend, but she, in order not to raise suspicions, answers the call. Clearly excited, he asks where she is, who lies and pretends that she is exercising. He tells her that he will have to be out of town for a week, because the surgery can only be performed at the country's top hospital, and apologizes for telling her over the phone. The cynical woman pretends that she will miss him, while caressing his brother's face. The poor man answers that he will miss her too and asks her to tell his brother about it. Once again showing how important the older brother is to him. Deeply moved, he says goodbye to the woman he loves so much, even though she doesn't deserve an ounce of his affection. After finishing the call, the two shamelessly get back under the covers. Thinking to himself, he says how much he loves her and will do whatever it takes to see the face of the woman he plans to marry and build a beautiful family. 1 week later, after the surgery has been successful, the doctor is about to remove the blindfold so that the man can finally see the beautiful world created by God. Then the doctor asks him to open his eyes very slowly. The scene is thrilling. He begins to cry, because he is finally seeing, even if not yet very clearly. The doctor assures him that each day his vision will improve, until he can see 100% as if he were a child. The miracle of medicine, always with God's blessing, thrills the man, who embraces the doctor that always taken care of his health. Hours later, he comes home calling for his girlfriend and possible future wife. But she doesn't answer him, so he decides to look for her in the rooms. When he gets to the bedroom, he finds her and her brother lying on the bed kissing. The day that was supposed to be a happy one has just become the most frustrating day of his life. Despite his sadness, he tries to stay calm and takes his cane out of his pocket, apparently with the plan to continue pretending he is blind. The cynical woman and the shameless brother go back to pretending nothing is happening, unaware that he is now seeing everything. The girlfriend asks if everything is okay and also questions why he arrived earlier than planned. He tries to evade the issue and picks up the cell phone that is in his pocket, saying that he needs to call his beloved brother. The two of them get desperate, the man trying to put his cell phone on mute, and the woman trying to make him take a few seconds longer to call. Her level of cynicism exceeds any limit. He accepts, but says he has a surprise for her. Without any respect for his formerly handicapped brother, the man begins to fondle the woman his brother intended to marry. The two flirt as they always did, however, now the man can watch this inappropriate behavior of the two. The revelation is left for the next day, and the cheating woman says she is eager to find out. The next day, both she and her no longer blind boyfriend are dressed fashionably. She asks what he intends to reveal, but the man, with his plan being well executed, asks her to sit down and wait for the other guest. Soon after, unbeknownst to the woman, her lover and the man's brother arrives. He greets them both and praises the beauty of his sister-in-law, stating that his brother would be amazed if he could see the beauty woman that his girlfriend is, soon kissing her in front of the man who can now even see the falseness of the two. Trying to keep calm despite being indignant inside, he proposes another toast. This time, the toast is, he says ironically, to respect, loyalty, and especially to the love they both have for him. The woman says she loves him more than anything, but instead of drinking, she kisses her lover once again. At that moment he tires of pretending and demands a stop to this shamelessness. Indignant, he asks if the two of them have no shame in doing this. The woman tries to explain herself, but he wants to know how long the affair has existed between them, and the cynical brother, doubting his intelligence, declares that he would never have the courage to stay with his girlfriend. But now he can see everything, and what becomes clearer is the lack of character of that man who, until recently, he considered to be a trustworthy person. She still tries to explain herself, but he loses patience and pushes her, this time in a wrong attitude. Screaming, he throws out the two who have deceived him over the past years and taken advantage of his fortune. Before they leave, he says he never wants to see both ever again.